Hello everyone, I am Amish Srivastav and this is the day one of Java basic training, and after this basic training we will use the Selenium. Right, so guys, is I audible to everyone?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. So guys, today's agenda is we first start talking about Java. So first Java introduction, and after this we are doing Java installation, and then we talk about Java basic programming concepts. So these three things we are going to cover today. So first of all, because I believe all are going to use this automation testing tool, that is a Selenium. And for Selenium, that's why we are learning these basic things, that is the Java. Because for Selenium, you are doing the automation testing, and for doing an automation testing, we are rely on some programming language. So there are several choices to use, like Java we can use in Selenium, we can use .NET, we can also use Python and Ruby. So why the Java is most demanding? So first we talk about why Java. So this will answer the introduction things also. So first of all, in Java, we talk about the thing called WORA. So Java has a feature called WORA, that is called write once, run anywhere. So it means you need to just write your code only once, and then you can run it on different platforms. So you can run your application on different platforms. So first of all, we understand how this write once, run anywhere work. And before talking about write once, run anywhere, I am talking about the platform. So when we talk about platform word, so platform is combination of two things. One is the operating system, that is called OS, and the second thing is called hardware. So whenever I use a word called platform, so it consists of two things, operating system plus hardware. And Java is actually called platform independent. So it means it is independent on platform. So it means you can run your code on any operating system, any hardware. So how this thing is possible? So in Java, you need to write a source code, and the source code extension would be .java. And then you compile your code. So for compiling your code, you rely on Java compiler. So there is a ready-made command called javac. So indirectly it is a Java compiler. So when you compile your Java code, so it means you have the source code, and when you compile your code by using javac, it will compile the code and it will generate a bytecode. Guys, there are some background noise. Please put your mic on mute mode. Thanks. Now, when you compile your code, it will generate a bytecode. So in other programming, it is generating a machine code where it is generating a bytecode. So once you compile it, you have a bytecode, and this bytecode is not a machine code. It's not a source code. It is called intermediate code. So this is an intermediate code, which is not source, which is not machine code, and this bytecode has an extension called .class. So when you compile it, you have this bytecode thing, which extension is .class. And now, once you compile your code, you have .class file, you can run on different platforms. So for different platforms, we can think like we have three different platforms. I can say I have Windows platform, let's say Windows 64-bit platform, or let's say I have Ubuntu 32-bit platform, or I can say Mac 64-bit platform. So it means I have different operating system, different architecture, and I need to just send this bytecode to every machine. So I will send this bytecode to Windows machine, I send this bytecode to Ubuntu machine, and I send this bytecode to the Mac machine. And there is a special software installed in every machine called JRE. So for Windows there is a different JRE, for Ubuntu there is a different JRE, and for Mac there is a different JRE. So what is JRE now? JRE, you can treat it like it's a Java runtime environment, and this Java runtime environment responsibility is it convert, or we can say it reads the bytecode and convert into the native code. So native code you can treat it like according to your machine code it will convert. So JRE is a software which talk to the operating system, or you can say it talk to your platform and convert the code according to your platform. So the thing is, whenever you run your code must be transformed into machine code, then machine can understand. And to transform your code into the machine code, you have the thing called JRE. So JRE read the bytecode and convert it into the machine specific code. So through this way, your application become platform independent. So it means your source code, you can think like your source code is converted into the bytecode by using Java C compiler, and this bytecode is handed over to different machines, and every machine is called JRE. So this JRE is used to read the bytecode and convert it into the native code. And because of this feature, Java become WORA. That is called write once, run anywhere. So it means you will write once your code and you can run it on any platform. I hope guys this thing is clear. The same thing, write once, run anywhere is also called platform independent. Right? Yeah. Anyone having any question? Okay. So guys, there are some background noise. Please put your mic on a mute mode. There are some typing noises in the background.
Hello.
Hello. Yes. Do you have any question? So now guys, this is WORA, we understand, write once, run anywhere.
And we
yeah, Gautam, I'm able to hear you. Gautam, you have any question?
Sorry, no questions.
Okay, please put your mic on mute mode. Now there is a question, what is native code? The native code, it means it is, you can treat it like it's a low level code. It means your machine will understand. So it means Windows native code means Windows understand, Ubuntu understand, or Mac understand. So you can treat it like it's a machine kind of code which is understandable by the machine, because whatever the code we will write, it is a high level code because it is in English form. Machine does not understand this English kind of code. So machine understand only their native code. So native code is a machine code according to the machine. So we need to convert our code into the native code, and this responsibility is done by the JRE. So JRE read your bytecode and convert into the native code. Is that answer your question? So there is a question, bytecode is high level code. No, bytecode is not high level code. Your source code is a high level code. So bytecode is an intermediate code, which is not native code, which is not source code. So bytecode is intermediate level code. So in other programming, when you write your source code and when you compile it, it will convert it into the machine code directly. But in Java, it is converted into the intermediate code, and then the intermediate code is transformed into the native code. So guys, now we are talking about the next feature. That is the first feature we understand, that is WORA, write once, run anywhere. The second feature is Java is open source. So it means there is nothing to buy it. So it's an open source, no license cost is involved. You can go to the Google and you can directly download this thing. So it's an open source for us. So if we compare with the .NET, we need to buy it, but this is an open source thing. So we will learn how we can install this later on. The next thing is Java is more popular than other languages. So it means it is more popular than other languages. If I compare with, let's say, if I compare with others, let's say I will go to a website called Google Trends. So if you go to this website, Google Trends, this will tell you the trends. So what is in the market you can get. So if I am saying Java programming language, so it will show how many people are using this Java and how much it is in the trend. So this is the graph of Java it is showing. So if you see earlier, before 2005, it is very much popular because there is no competition in the market. So it means .NET is also come in 2004 and 2005. So it means very less competition. That's why Java is more popular. Now, if you compare with the .NET framework, so if you compare with the .NET is in the red color line, where Java is in the blue color line. So the competition you are able to see, Java is more popular than the .NET. And if you compare with another language called Python, so it will tell Python graph is slightly, because it's slightly higher than the .NET, but it is very less than the Java. So it is in a yellow color. And if you compare with another language called Ruby, so it will show Ruby is in the green color and it is similar like Python. So that's why the reason the Java is more in the demand, because you are able to see Google is also showing which programming language is more popular and what is the interest of the people. So Java interest is more compared to the others. So this is the statistics of November 2015, right, and October 2015. So I hope this thing is clear. Java is the more popular language compared to the others. And then if we talk about the next thing, Java is more secure language. So it's a more secure language. The first reason is, if we compare it, the first reason is it does not support pointers. So if you are familiar with the C language has the pointers, and through pointer you can point to any address. And if you point to any address, so you can access any data in a memory location. And the computer virus has the same thing. It is reside in some address location and it can access any data. So Java does not have a support of pointers. So it means you cannot use pointers. So it means you cannot point to any memory address. So you cannot create the viruses if you compare with the C language. And second thing is, before convert into native code, it will check the byte code. It has some malicious activities or not. So it means it is checking your bytecode does not have any malicious activity. So from here, when your bytecode is going to convert into the native code, so you know JRE is used to convert your bytecode into the native code. And before converting into the bytecode into native code, it checks the security. So it checks your bytecode does not have any malicious activity. If it has, so it would not convert it into the native code, right? So in other programming, you do not have this kind of check. So if you compare with the C and C++, it does not have a security check before converting into the machine code. It directly converted it. That's why Java is more secure. So these are the major broadly feature of Java. So guys, if you have any questions till now, so you can please raise your questions. So these are the basic features of Java. Now we are moving to the next thing. That is, we are going to install the Java. So how to install the Java thing? So to install this Java, you need to type Java download first of all. And this is the oracle.com. So if you see, this is oracle.com. From here you can install the Java. So if I click on this, this is a Java. From here you can install it. So first thing is installing this Java thing. So before installing this Java, we understand some basics. So before installation, Java has two things to install. One is the JDK and the second thing is the JRE. So JDK is, like its name says, it's a Java development kit. So through this you are able to develop the codes. That's why its name is Java Development Kit. So Java Development Kit to develop the software. So it is for the developers. So through this you can compile the code, you can debug the code, you can do the documentation of the code. So these things is available in JDK, right? And the latest version of the JDK is JDK 8. And its official name is Lambda. So either you use Lambda or either you say JDK, it's the same thing. So JDK 8 is the latest version and it is launched in 2013. And from 2016 onwards, you will get a latest version that is called Java 9. Right? So right now, Java 8 is the latest version. We are going to download this. Now, what is JRE? So JRE, I told you that's a Java runtime environment. So it's a Java runtime environment where you run your code. And in this JRE, it is used to convert your bytecode into the machine code. So it is always installed on the client machine. So this always on the client machine, where JDK is always on the developer machine. So if you're going to develop something, you need a JDK. So we are going to develop it. So we need to install JDK. And once you install JDK, JDK also have JRE. So it means there is no need to install JRE in it. So once you install JDK, you already have the JRE. So JRE only you need to install on the client machine. So for example, if you develop something and you want to execute on the client machine, then you need a JRE software. So I hope guys, you have the understanding of JDK and the JRE. So we need to install the JDK because we are going to develop the codes. And once we install JDK, we already have the JRE. So in this website, you are able to see JDK 8 is the latest. We are going to install this. We need to click on this accept license, and Java SC is called software edition. So, or you can say it's a standard edition for it. So for creating the standard based application, we have the standard edition. There is another edition called Java EE, that is for enterprise edition. So if you are going to create any web application, then you need to download Java EE edition, that is enterprise edition. So if you go in this website, you have the Linux, you have the Mac version, you have Solvis version, you have Windows version. So like I have the Windows 64-bit, so I just click on this and it will be start downloading it. So here it is start downloading it, and if you see here, it is saying this is the 865. So 65 is the minor release. So I just cancel this thing because I already have. So I am not going to download it because it is already installed in my machine, right? So you need to just download this exe, and once you download it, so you need to just double click on it and you need to install it. So it's very plain installation. You can go and install this thing. Right. Once this is installed, it will be by default. So it means if you not change any setting, it will by default install in C drive program files, and it would be in Java folder. And inside Java, you have this JDK folder. And inside JDK, you have bin folder. Bin is for your binaries. So in this binaries, you are able to see it has the thing called Java C. So it has the command called Java C, that is for the compilation, and it has a command called Java for execution. And if you want to prepare any documentation, then you have Java doc command. Right. So these sort of several commands is provided by the Java. So it means inside a JDK you have these sort of commands, right? So in this bin you have all these commands. The problem is these commands is only available only in this location, right? So if you are going to create any program, so you need to save your program inside this bin folder. So this is most important point, guys. So if you want to save your code, you need to save it in the bin folder. Now this bin is actually in the program files. The problem is program files is by default read only. So if you want to save your code, you need to change the attribute read only to the write only. So it means you make the program file writable. So if you make program file writable, there are chances to enter the virus, because that's why they make program files read only, so no other program can alter my installed programs. So if you save it here, first of all you need make the program file writable. Problem is the malicious code will be infect your program files. This is the first reason. And the second reason is if you save your code in the C drive program files, if you format your system, if your Windows is get corrupt, or you reinstall it, so your C drive get formatted and your all the code snippet will be get lost. So if you don't want to lost your code, so you will save your code in D drive or E drive. But the problem is these commands is only available in the C drive location. So we need to set the environment path, so we will able to access all these commands anywhere, right? So the most important point is these commands is only accessible in this location. If you want to access everywhere, we need to set the path in an environment variable so we can access it anywhere. So how we can set the path in environment variable? So there are some steps. The first step is copy this path, right? So JDK bin path I copied. Then I go to the My Computer. So I just click on the right click on the My Computer section, and then I choose properties. So in properties, we have the thing called advanced system settings. So I click on this advanced system settings, and then I click on this environment variable. And in this environment variable, you have two sort of variables. One is your system variable, this thing, and another is your user variable. So system variable means if you set these variables, so it means your path, it means your commands is available to all the users. But if you set in this user variable, so it is only available for a specific profile. It is not available to all the users, right? So if you have admin access in your machine, then you have the system variable access. If you do not have, then you have only choice for user variable. So I am telling both of the ways. So if you have the admin access, then you have system variables, and inside system variable you need to search a path variable. So I already have this path variable, because if you install the Windows, you already have this path. Then you click on this edit section. So do not click on new, use edit, and then put the semicolon at the end. So semicolon means it will terminate the existing path, and then right click and paste your path whatever you copied. So I copied the C drive program file JDK bin path, and this path is get copied, and then I need to click on OK. Now your path is set. So this is the only thing we need to do for set a path, right? So it means edit the path variable, put semicolon to terminate the existing path, and then paste your path. And then you need to click on OK. I am clicking on cancel because I already have, right? So in your case, you need to click on OK. So if your system variable is not accessible, then same step apply to user variable. Search for path variable, then click on edit, and then put a semicolon and then paste your path and then click on OK. Then your commands will be accessible to this profile only. It would not accessible to all profiles. Right. If you do not have this path variable in user variable, then click on new and then type path and then paste your path. So this thing is only required if you do not have a path variable in your profile. Right. Then you need to click OK. So I already have, that's why I click on cancel. In your case, you need to click on OK. So once this thing is done, then open a command prompt. So you need to open a CMD, that's a command prompt. And in this CMD, you need to type Java C, that's a Java compiler, and then -version. And if you type and press enter and it is showing Java C and your version of Java compiler, like I have 1.8. So everything is correctly set. If it is showing bad command or unrecognized command, unrecognized internal and external commands, which means the path is not correct set, so you need to set it. So if you want to check your JRE version, because I told you when you install the JDK, you already have the JRE inside it. So if you type Java -version, it will show the JRE version, right? So make sure your JRE version must be the greater than your Java C version. So when you install JDK, always install the greater version of JRE. So this is how we install this thing. So for Java installation, the steps are pretty much simple, guys. Download the JDK from Oracle website and then install it by double click on exe and then set the JDK path in the environment variables. Right. So these are the steps. So if you forget these steps, so I already upload a video on YouTube. So you just need to type set Java path and then my name, and then you will have a link of YouTube, and you need to just click on this, and you will get the video how to set a path. So I uploaded a video how to set a path in environment variables, right? So I hope, guys, why Java thing is all clear and installation of Java is clear. So if you have any questions till now, so you can raise your questions. So this is just a basic overview. Now after this, we are going to write our first program. So the next agenda is we are going to write the basic programming concepts. Right? So to write a program in Java, the absolute need is we need a notepad. So in notepad, we are going to write our program snippets. So before writing the program snippets, we first understand the next feature of Java. It's an open source, it's popular, it's more secure, and next feature is it is an object-oriented programming. So it's an object-oriented programming, guys. So first of all, we understand what is an object-oriented programming. So object-oriented programming work on objects. So it means everything in our surrounding is an object. Like me and you, the laptop, the mobile phone, the chair, the table is all are the objects. So object is with whatever is in real world with whatever is exists is called object. Right? So we can say object, it is a real world thing. It's called an object. So like its name says, it's object-oriented programming. So it will identify the object and it will do a programming for objects. So it means it is a real world programming. Right? Now, what is class inside? So like me and you are the objects. So we are belongs to a category called human. So human is a category and category synonym is class. Right? So we can say class, it is a collection of similar objects. Like me and you are the similar objects and we belongs to the human. Right? So if you compare with so many things, like we can say dog, cat, cow is all are the objects, and they belongs to a category called animal, right? So classes always represent a category, and it's that's why I'm using collection of objects. So if you go in more detail, like if I'm saying Mahendra Singh Dhoni, and I'm saying Sachin Tendulkar, and I'm saying Saurabh Ganguly, I'm saying Kapil Dev. So I'm saying these all are the objects, and they belongs to a class called cricketers, right? So you can, if you just check the things, so you are with objects in the class, and in practical word we can say objects is a real world thing, and for creating a program for object oriented, first of all we need to define a class, and after this class we are defining an object. Like human is a class, and we are the objects of that class. So it means class contain the properties, the features belongs to an object, right? So how we define our first code? First of all, we need to define a class because it's an object-oriented programming. So it's just a high-level overview of object-oriented. So we'll go in more detail. First of all, we understand how to create a very simple program. Then we talk about more detail in object-oriented. So the class, we start with everything with a class. So class is a keyword, guys, and keyword are the reserved words which has special meaning for a compiler. So class is a keyword, and then I define my class. So I will say my first class, right? So when I define class, my first class, so this is my class name. And general idea to define a class is the class always start with a capital letter. So my is a one word, it's a capital letter. When the first word is completed, the second word start, it is again start with a capital letter. And then the next word is start, it is again with a capital letter. So it means the initial word is a capital letter, and when the next word is come, then initial word again is a capital letter. So that's a standard, guys. So this is a standard way to define a class. So if you not define in this manner and you will define in this manner, it is again work, but it is not standard way. That's why we use this way. That's a standard way, right? Now here we define a class. So we can say the first absolute need is step number 1 for write a program, define a class, right? And this bracket says class starts. So I'm writing the comments, guys. So double slashes for the comments. So compiler will ignore this thing, and this is for developer to developer understanding. So like I am providing an understanding to you. So that's why I'm putting a comments. So if you read this comment, so you are able to understand what is going on in the code. So this closing bracket says classes ends. So now, because I told you this is an object-oriented programming, so everything starts with a class. Now, the step number 2. Step number 2 says define the execution point of a program. So it means from where your program is going to execute. That is called execution point of a program. So like in C language, you have a main, and main is an execution point of a program. So if we check public static void main, this is a syntax of writing a main. So I define public static void main. So public static void, these three things is actually a keywords. These all are keywords, like class is a keyword, right? So public static void is treated as a keyword, and public means it is accessible everywhere. So it means it is accessible everywhere. It means I use a correct word, that is it is accessible in every package. So for meanwhile, you will treat package as a folder. So it means if you specify public, so you can access this thing anywhere, right? Very close to a global thing. And there is a thing called static. Static means it has only one copy in the memory. So it maintains only one copy in the memory. So main is the execution point. So execution point is only one for a program. That's why it is defined as static. When we define void, void means it returns nothing. So it means it does not give any value. Right? So you can return a value, it returns nothing right now. So and main is a function name, right? Or you can say it's an execution name, and you can say it's a function name, or you can treat it like a method name, right? So main is a function name, or you can treat it like it's a method name for you. Now, next thing is string args. So first of all, string. So string, it is a predefined class. So it's a predefined class in Java, and it represents set of characters. So it means string is nothing, it's a set of characters. Like my name is Amit, so Amit is a collection of characters. So in Java terms, we can say Amit is a string. Right? And now what is args? Args, it is a variable. It is a variable of array type. So it is a variable which take a value, and it is of array type because of square brackets. So it means it can take n number of values, and this args could be anything. So it is not compulsory to define args. You can also define arr. So it's an array for you, right? I hope guys this thing is clear. So this is the explanation of public static void main thing. So this is a signature of your execution point. So if you miss anything, your code would not run, right? So this is it. Guys, there's some background noise. Please put your mic in a mute mode. Now, after this, once we define this thing, so this bracket is it's a main code start. It means your main function is start, and this would be a main code ends, right? So all these things is just for your understanding that I have typed. That's in a double slash. That's a comment for you, right? So these are the comments I have specified here. And inside this, I'm going to write a code, and then system.out.println hello Java. So now the thing is, what is system, what is out, what is println? So you can treat it like, if you know C language, C has printf function. That's a predefined function which is used to print it. And in Java, we have system.out.println, which is used to print the things on a console, right? So now, what is system? So system, it is a predefined class. Predefined class it is. It is same like your. So it's a predefined class, and it is same like your string. String is a predefined, right? And it has out. So out, it is an object. So it's an object. And now the println. Println, it is a function, and it is used to print on console, right? So this is a syntax to print it, system.out.println. Through this we are able to print, right? So this is the first code that we have written, guys, and these are just the comments, right, to understand this code. By the way, the code is very small. The comments I put it more for your clear understanding, and I will upload this code so whenever you want, so you can read this comment for a clear understanding. So now the thing is, our code is done, and this code will print hello Java. And now I will save this thing. So for saving this, I will save it in D drive or E drive, right? And I will create a folder here, and I name this folder as Selenium Java December batch 2. And now I need to save here. So in this folder we will save our code. And whenever we are going to save our code, the idea is wherever you save your code, it would be saved with your class name. So my class name is my first class. So Java says always save with the class name, right? So I should be saved in my first class, but I have not follow the Java standard. Now I will save in this my second class dot Java, right? So instead of saving by my first class, I will save in my second class dot Java. So we will see what would be the impact if we not follow the Java standard way, right? And when I saved in this double quotes. So this is a shortcut of Windows. It does not any relationship with Java. So I saved in double quotes, and this is a shortcut. So it means I need not to do all files every time. We will just save in double quotes. So it would not pick .txt. It will only save with .java. So I save this thing, and my code is get saved. And now my code is saved in this E drive, and this will be saved in this Selenium Java Bash 2 folder. And this is my second class .java file. And now I need to compile my code. So the way to compile my code, because right now I'm in the C drive, I need to type E drive. So I will go to the E drive. Then I will write C Selenium Java Summer Bash 2. So I will reach here. Guys, there's some background noise. Please put your mic on a mute mode. So either I go to this location by using CD and the E drive, or either instead of this, I will directly reach it to this location. So I just close this thing. And guys, there are some background noise of mic, so please put your mic on a mute mode. So in this blank area, I will do shift. I will press shift key, and then I do right click. So if I hold a shift key and do a right click, so it will give a shortcut open command window there. So if I click on this, it will redirect me to this location, right? So right now I am on the Selenium Java Batch 2 location directly in E drive. Now I need to type Java C my second class .java. So this my second class .java is actually my file name, and I press enter, and it will compile the code, and it will generate a bytecode. So if we move back to our first diagram, this one, when we compile it by using Java C, it will generate a bytecode. So this bytecode is get generated. So here we have this bytecode. If I open this, so it is not understandable code. So it is not a machine code, and it is not a source code. It's an intermediate code. Now to run this code, I will do Java my second class, and then I press enter. So it will say it's an error, right? Because it generates a bytecode, and bytecode name is my first class. So it means I need to type Java my first class, and then I run it. It will run the thing, and it will print an output. So the learning is, for compilation, you need to specify the file name, and once you compile, it will generate a bytecode. And to run, you need to specify the bytecode name. You need not to specify the file name. That's why Java says always make the class name and the file name same. Otherwise, you need to remember the file name for compilation and bytecode name for execution. That's why the standard is always give a name with the same name, with the class name, and the file name must be the same. So this is, guys, the first program that we have done. Right, and the next thing I'm going to show you is how we can run the same code on Ubuntu machine. Like we have run the same code in a Windows machine, and now I want to run in a different machine. So, any user have any question till now? Yeah, please ask your doubt.
Hello, can you hear
me? Yes, I'm able to hear you.
Yeah, my doubt is like we compiled my second class only, right?
Right.
And we ran the my first class.
Yes,
so
yes.
We need not to. We need not compile our the file which we created, which we want. In my first class was my was the name of the class which I defined in my notepad, right? the same name should be
Yes,
used for the file which we are going to compile so as to create the bytecode for that code, isn't it? My
Yeah, the
doubt is
thing is,
basically we didn't
the
compile,
thing,
we didn't create the bytecode for our class, no?
yes,
How was we
yes.
able to run it?
Yeah. The thing is, I just reiterated, this file dot class is not get generated by default. When I type this thing Java C, my second class dot Java. So you will just watch the what is going on behind the scene. So it means when I type this thing in the background here, it will generate a bytecode, right?
Yeah.
So when I type this thing, it is looking for a class name only. So it will always create a bytecode with a class name. Right? So this is the standard of Java. So it always create with the name of your class. So my class name is my first class. So the bytecode name is always with a class name. Now the problem is when I want to run it, it will run only bytecode. So for running a bytecode, I need to specify the class name. Right? So the problem is I need to remember the file when I compile. And for running, I need to remember a class name.
Bytecode.
Yes. So that's why Java suggests always save your file with a class name.
Okay.
So we need not to remember in the class name because it's both are same.
How does the compiler get to know about what the class name was? Like I'm not mentioning in the name .java, my second class .java. I'm not mentioning the class name. So how is the compiler getting to know which code has to be converted to the bytecode?
Yeah, the thing is compiler, because when you write this Java C, my second class .java, compiler read this file and it is looking for a class which is having a main, right?
Okay.
So this class having a main, because it's an execution point, so it will convert this class into the bytecode and it will generate. Now, if you have 5 classes, so it will generate 5 dot class. So for example, if I have this class W inside it and class T inside it, right? So for example, in a one file I have 2 classes. Now the thing is, which name I will use? I will save it with a W name or a T name. So the thing is, you need to decide according to where you define a main. So if I define a main in T, so I will save it with a T, right? So for example, I have this code and this code says, let's say, hello T. So I need to save this code with the name of t.java, right? So once you save this with a t.java, and when you compile it, it will generate 2 classes behind the scene. It will generate 2 classes, but it will only allow to execute T. So right now you have t.java, and when I compile it, it will generate 2 classes behind the scene.
Okay.
So now you have t.class and w.class.
Yeah.
But you can only able to run T because T has the main.
Okay.
If you write Java W, it will generate an error.
Okay.
So it will generate an error. It is saying please define the main method.
Okay.
Right? So this is how Java understands the things. So guys, anyone having other question? So now guys, the next thing we are going to do is we run this bytecode in different platform, like in Ubuntu. So in my machine, I have a VMware and I already installed this Ubuntu. So I just power on this machine. So I have 2 operating system, Windows is running, and on top of Windows, Ubuntu is running, right? And once this is up, this machine is up, so I will pick this bytecode, this one we have generated, my first class, and I will place it in the Ubuntu machine. And Ubuntu machine, I already installed the JRE. So JRE is already there. So bytecode will be read by the JRE and it will convert it on native code. So it means it will convert it according to the Ubuntu machine. So it means you write your code only once, and now your code will run on different platforms. So I just log in this Ubuntu machine. So it is taking some time to just get up this machine. So here it is. This thing is up. Now I will go to this folder location, and here I will create a fresh folder, new folder in this Ubuntu, and I will name it as a Java. So I will give a name here. So it's taking some time. So here it is. I just do a rename. I would say Java December batch 2. Right. So here it is, Java December batch 2, and now I have this my first class dot class. Okay, Hari Krishna has some comment. So screen is still frozen, or now is this thing is resolved? Okay. Now this bytecode which we have generated, I just drag this bytecode from Windows machine, and then I go to this Ubuntu machine, and then I drop it here. So it means the bytecode, because bytecode is a platform independent and it can run on any machine, because it's not a source code, it's not a machine code, it's an intermediate code. And now you have this bytecode in this machine, that is an Ubuntu machine. So I just drag that bytecode and paste it in an Ubuntu machine. Now I need to run it. So for running it, I just type terminal. So this would be a DOS terminal, right? So it is same like your CMD, and we need to go to this Java December batch 2. So I will press do ls. Ls is your dir command, and when you type this ls, then I will just check Java December batch 2, this one. So I will type this thing, cd Java December batch 2, and here I will type Java my first class, and I press enter, and it will print an output that is hello Java. So it means you develop your code only once, and now you can run your code on different platforms. So that's why Java is called platform independent. Only one time you need to write, and you can run it on any platform, because it has a JRE in it. So I hope guys this thing is clear, how you can run on different machines. So you can also check in this machine, I already installed the Java in this. Right, so it has this Java version. So till now guys, we understand how to install the Java, the basic element of the Java in our first program, and we are able to run on different platforms. We are able to run on Windows platform, we are able to run on Windows and Ubuntu platform both. So guys, now one more thing I want to share, that is if we go back again to the Google Trends, because this Java basic we are learning for a Selenium, and I just want to show you the Selenium market. So it means how much Selenium is popular. So if you understand this Java thing, then the Selenium is the easiest part, right? So if you just see from last 5 years, this Selenium graph is up and up, and it is keep up, right? So it means it is keep increasing in the market. Right. If you compare with one more automation testing tool that is called QTP. So if you compare with the QTP, so the QTP market is very down compared to the Selenium, because the Selenium market is raised. So that's why they affect the QTP. So QTP is an HP product, right? And it is not open source, where your Selenium is an open source and Java is an open source. That's why it's a deadly combination to understand this Java and this Selenium. And very few people are in the automation testing right now, because developer don't want to do the automation, and tester need to learn the programming first of all, then you can do this automation thing. So till now, guys, if you feel any questions, so you can raise it now. And after this, we are going to learn more programs on this. This is just our first basic program, that is the Hello Java program that we have done. Right. I hope this thing is clear. So it's more than 1 hour, guys. So let's move for a 10 minutes break. So you will get refreshed, and then we will start the session after 10 minutes break. So it's time 3:34. We will come back 3:44 after 10 minutes. Right. So shall we start the session? If everyone come back from a break. So guys, please confirm if you have come back from a break. So we'll resume the session. So guys, thanks for your confirmation. So now guys, the next thing we are talking about how we can write a main. So because we've done the first program and we are going to create another program. So I will create a class with a name called A, and then I will define the same thing: public static void main string args. Right. So this is just a repetitive code every time, and then I specify the same thing: system.out dot print, and I specify hello Java. The same thing I specify. So this earlier we have done. Now I am saying how many ways to define a main. Right. So the first way is you can interchange this thing. So instead of public, you can write static public. So this is you can change. So you can define static public or public static. Right. It is allowed. So if you save this code, and let's say it's saved with a.java, and then I go to the command prompt section, and here I am saying java c a.java. It will compile the code, and then I say java a, and it is printing. So it means it is working fine. It means it allowed static or public static. So this is the first thing. The another change you can do is instead of putting the square bracket here, you can put it here. So it means it allowed here. So this flexibility is there. And then if you compile it and then you run it, it is allowing. And the next thing is in bracket you can put 3 dots. So it is equivalent to double square brackets. So if I save this thing and then I compile this thing again, and then I run this thing again, it is working. So these are the different ways to define a main. So either you use public static, static public, or square brackets, or dot dot operator. So there is a question called, is it possible to run Java program without main method? Yes, this is possible without a main method. We will use ng or junit kind of things for this. And in earlier version of Java, it allowed to run your program without a main. But from Java 7 onwards, Java is strict. So if you are creating a very simple program, like these are we call a simple program, or it as a Pojo classes. So the name is Pojo. So the Pojo is your plain old Java object classes. These are Pojo classes, and in the Pojo classes, you must have to define the main. So this is the first thing. And from Java 7 onwards, this is mandatory to define main. But if you are not using a Java 7, you are using some earlier version. So you can define static block, and instead of this, you can write your code inside this. Because the static block will run before a main. So it means before main, it will run. So I can say before main, it is run. And once this is run, it is looking for a main. So programmers usually do system.exit 0. So it means once it run, it will exit. So it means it is not look for a main and it will exit. So this thing is allowed in Java 6 version, but from Java 7, Java does not allow this thing because it's a bug for Java. That's why Java allowed only the thing called you need to define main. If you not define, so if I run this program for you, so let's say I will first clear the screen and I will say Java C a.java, and then I do Java A. So compilation is done, and when you do execution, it is saying main is not found, and it is saying please define the main method as public static void main. So it would not allow it, right? So from Java 7 it would not allow. So I have Java 8, that's why it is not working. So you need to comment this thing, and then you will define public static void main, and then I define string args, and it will run. So I am saying system.out.println Java, so it will run this. So if I save this stuff, then I clear the screen, and I'm saying Java C a.java, and then I do Java A. So you will see hello Java comes next before it print, before main is run. So it means static block will run first, and then the main will run. So this is in case of Pojo classes. But after this, we will learn this test engine JUnit kind of frameworks. That is not a Pojo classes, right? Because it use the test engine thing. So there we use without a main, it will run. Right? So does that answer your question? All right. Now, guys, the next thing we know varieties of writing a main. Now, after this, we are talking about the next thing, that is write a program to add two numbers, right? So very simple program we are going to write, and we will learn so many things in it. So I will say class add two numbers. This would be my class name, and then I will define the same thing, public static void main string args. And then I do integer first number. So this is my variable name, and the general convention, when you define integer first number, your variable name must be start with a small letter, and when the next word will come, it must be in a capital letter. So this is your variable declaration, and when you define this variable internally, it would be like it define a variable, and that variable would be called as a first number, right? So I will use fn first number, and it has a value 100, and because it is of integer type, so it will only hold a numbers, right? It does not hold any decimal numbers. Then after this, I will define integer second number. So I have two variables, 100 and 200. Now the thing is, when you define integer, the internal meaning of integer for Java means it's a data type, and integer only consumes 4 bytes in the memory, and it is a non-decimal data type. So it means it does not take any decimal value. So it is non-decimal data type. That is an integer of 4 bytes. So there is a bigger one that is called long, which is of 8 bytes. So it means if you want to store more things, then you have long. There are some small one that is called short. If you define short, so it will consume 2 bytes. And there is another called byte. And byte will take only 1 byte in the memory. So these all are called non-decimal data types. Now, how we can identify which data type is suitable for my need? So for example, if I am talking about byte, so byte will take 1 byte, and 1 byte is of 8 bit. So because byte contain 8 bits, and in 8 bit, 7 bit is for number, and 1 bit is for sign. It means it is for plus and minus sign. So, and you know, bit base is 2, because bit is either of 0 and 1. So that's why the base is 2. So the formula is -2 raised to power 7 to 2 raised to power 7 minus 1. So it would be -128 to 127. So this is the range of a byte. Right? So it means when you define a byte, for example, if I define byte x 100, so it means it will take the value between -128 to 127. So for example, if I am talking about short is of 2 byte. So 2 byte is, we know it is of 16 bit. So the formula is changed and the formula become minus 2 raised to power because it's 16. So the first thing is 15 bit is for number and 1 bit is for sign. It means plus and minus. So it means the formula would be 2 raised to power 15 to 2 raised to power 15 minus 1. So if you solve this equation, the value would be minus 32768 to 32767. So this would be the range of your short, right? So it means if you have integer, so integer is of 4 bytes, so it means it is 32 bit. So the formula would be 2 raised to power 31 because 1 bit is reserved for plus and minus. So it means it is a huge value. So if you want more big value, then you have a long that is of 8 byte and you can hold very large value inside it. So the formula for long is 2 raised to power 63. Right? So it's a huge value, right? So this time I am only picking integer, right? That is for non-decimal data type. So there is one more data type that is called decimal data type. So if you want to store decimal values only. So for decimal values, you have float and you have double. So float is for less precision, so it is of 4 bytes, and double is for 8 bytes. So decimal value means, for example, I want to store float x equals to 90.20f. So it's a float value. So you must be end with f, either it's small or either it's capital. And if you have a more precision, so precision means 90.342275. So this after decimal value is the precision. So float is not suitable for high precision value. So if you want to store the high precision value, then you have the thing called double. So double is for the high precision value, right? So float is for low precision and double is for the high precision. So for maintaining the decimal values, you have two choices, either float or either double. Now, to store a character, single character value, you have a variable called, you have type called character. So for example, I want to store a single character, then you use char, and it is of 2 bytes, right? And why it is of 2 bytes? Because it is used for store Unicode characters. So Unicode characters means it is a universal character. So you can store French, German, Spanish, English, Hindi, any kind of character. That's why it is of 2 bytes. In C language, it is of 1 byte because it is only for ASCII characters. Now you have another thing that is called Boolean. So if you define Boolean Q equals to true, so it will hold a true false value, right? So it means either you can store true and false. And for true, it is internally it is maintaining 1, and for false it is internally maintaining 0. Because it is storing false and true as a 1 and 0, that's why it is treated as 1 byte in the memory, or it is treated 2 byte in the memory, or it would be of 4 bytes. So the size of float is the size of Boolean is not fixed. It could be a 1 byte, it could be a 2 byte, it could be a 4 byte. It depends on your operating system how it is behaving the Boolean, because Boolean is true false. Computer does not have anything related to Boolean true false. Computer understands 1 and 0. That's why it will take 1 byte, 2 byte, or 4 byte. So these are the different data types that we have understand. So for this basic program, we use integer. Now I want to print the result. So I have a variable result, and then I am saying first number plus second number. And then I want to print a result. So I will write system.out.println, and then I print this result. So it is printing this result here. And now I will save this code. So the convention is save it with the same name, with the class name. So I will save add two numbers.java. So this would be saved here. Go back to our code, and here Java C add two numbers.java, it will compile the code, and then I would say add two numbers, and then I press enter, it will print 300. So if I want to print like sum of two numbers as 300, so I will write sum of two numbers plus result. So now this plus operator is behaving in a two ways. If you work with a numeric integer, so it will add two numbers. If you attach with a string, because double quotes is a string, so it will concate the result. So this time it is concating the result, it is not adding up. Right? So I save this thing and then I am printing this thing. So first of all, I will do a CLS, compile a code, and then I will run this code, and it is printing sum of two numbers as 300. Right? I hope guys this thing is clear how it is printing the result. Right? Now the next thing is this code is hard coded. I mean, it is always give 300. So it means if I run this code n number of times, it is always give 300. Right? So now the thing is, I don't want an hard code result. I want to give an input. Right? So I want to supply an input. So to supply an input, the way is you need to type Java and then your class add two numbers, and then I will specify the first value, then I specify the second value. So this is my first value and this is my second value. Now this first value, this 90 is considered as, so we can say this 90 is actually internally considered as double quotes 90, because it is you passed as a string. So this 90 double quotes 90 is handed over to this string args, because it's treated as a string. So whatever the value you will specify, it is treated as a string. So it's a double quotes 90, and the 67 is also treated as double quotes 67. And this, because it has two values, so it will be stored in an array. So it will be go inside an array 0th place, and this will be go inside an array first place. So it will treat this thing in an array, and the first value will be go in a 0th location, and the second value will be go in a second location. Right? Now here, instead of 100, I will write args 0, and here I will write args 1. Right? So can we think like args 0 hold 90 and args 1 hold 67. But the problem is both are treated as string, and I want to store this value in an integer form. So Java has this thing that is called integer dot %. So this integer % is a predefined function. So integer is a class and % is a method inside it. So if I write integer dot % args1, so it means it will convert your value, it is 9067, into this numeric value. So it will remove the double quotes and it will be treated as 9067, and it will be stored in this first number after conversion, and it will be stored in the second number. Then I am printing the result. Right? Now if we check this thing, first of all I need to save this code. So I will save this thing. I will go back here, and the first thing is I need to compile this code. So I will compile this code. Compilation is done. Now I am saying Java add two numbers, then I specify the first value, then I specify the second value, and it is printing this sum. So if I change this value, so it is printing this sum. Right? So it means it is become dynamic and it is working for two numbers. Right? So I hope guys this thing is clear, how to add two numbers. So this is just a very basic programming, and the program variety which we have learned, it is a sequential program. So this is just a sequential program, and you need to try this thing. So I have an assignment for you. So you can just try after this. So these are the 3 programs, guys, you need to write. The first program is, so WAP is your write a program. So write a program to swap to numbers. So it means take first number, take second number, and exchange the value of both the numbers. So the hint is use the third variable for this. So use the third empty variable and then exchange it. The second program you need to create is write a program, swap to numbers, and this time do not use the third variable. Right? So swap without a third variable. And the third thing is to write a program to calculate the simple interest. So take principal, take rate, take time, and then compute the simple interest. And the formula of simple interest is P into R into T divided by 100. Right? So these 3 programs you need to try. So this will help you to write a code. So you will get familiar with the syntax if you create this kind of programs. Now, this is a sequential programming that we have learned. Now we are moving to the next segment, that is decision making programming. So the next segment is decision making programming. So first of all, I close so many windows I have open. So I will close those windows. So here, so there is a question. Can you please ping the questions? These questions I will upload, and you will get everything from there, right? So I will, at the end of this session, I will upload all the things and I will share the upload location to everyone. So you will get all the codes, whatever I have written, all these images, diagrams which I have created. So I will upload everything. So you can download it from there. Okay guys, now the next thing is we are going to create a program called decision making program. So why the decision making program is required? So when we are writing some codes, we have the things like if this condition is passed, then do this action, otherwise do something else. So this is called decision making, right? So for example, if I am saying if the value is greater than 0, then show the balance. If the value is not greater than 0, then show there's an error. The balance cannot be shown, right? So this is a decision making kind of program. So for this, we will create this thing, decision making demo. And here I will define public static main string args. And here in this decision making demo, I will define this thing integer first number. So let's say I will create a program to find out which number is greater among 2 numbers. Right? So I will take the first value and I will convert it into the integer. So I will pick the value from a user. That's why I do this thing, integer of %. So the first number value, I hold it in first number variable. Then I will define second thing, that's a second number. And I will define second number as this args1. So I have the first number, I have the second number. And here I will say first number, if first number is greater than second number. So this is the syntax to check. So if you define if first number is greater than second number, so this is checking if the first number is greater than second number, so it will give true. So it means if it is giving true, then this bracket, this is if block, right? So this is if start and this is if ends. Right? So we can say if ends. Yeah. So this will only execute if this condition is true. It means the first number is greater than the second number, then this piece of code will be executed. So I will say system.out.println. I will say first number is greater, else if it is not going here. So it means else is only execute when there is false. So else block is only execute when there is false condition, and here I will copy and paste this thing, and here I will say second number is greater. So it means if the first condition is failed, then it will do this. So there is a question from Soumyadeep, that is, do we always have to give argument 0? Yes, because the first value is always inside the argument 0, because it's an array. Array always starts with 0th location. So the first value will be considered as 0, and the second value will be considered as 1, because array always starts with 0. That's why we need to specify argument 0 for taking the first value, argument 1 for taking the second value. So now I will save this thing. So there is one more question from Soumyadeep, that what to do in case of for loop. So if we have a loop, so it means if you are saying we have bunch of values, let's say 10 values, so you can start a looping, and this loop will be start from 0 to length, and you will get 1 by 1 value. So instead of argument 0, this would be argument and the variable. For example, you would take a value I. I has 0, I have 1, I has 2. So this loop will be start from 0, and it will move 0 to length, and it will be increment one after another. So there is one more question. There is how we can take the values. I think you want enter the first number message first come, and then enter the second number. Is this your question? It means you want first the message will become, enter the first number, then you will take the first number value and then enter the second number, then the second number value will become. Okay. So we will do it. There are two ways to do this. One is the buffer reader class and another is the scanner class. So first we complete this thing. The same program I will create with taking a value from a user. Right. So there are three ways in Java to take a value. This is the first way we have learned. Now we specify decision. So this is decision making demo .java. So I save this program and I go back to this area, clear the screen, and here I am writing Java C decision making demo.java. Will compile the code, and here I will say Java decision making demo, and I will specify the first number, and then I specify the second number 90 and the 2, and then I press enter. So it is saying first number is greater, and if I am saying 0 2, it will say second number is greater. But when I say 2 2, it is saying second number is greater, but in this case it is equal. So if you want to treat this condition, so you need to add one more else if. Excuse me. So I will say else if first number is equals to second number. So it will check one more condition. So it means if the first number is greater than the second number, this will run. If the first number is equals to the second number, then this will run, and this will say, let's say system .out.println both numbers are same, and I save this thing, and let's say first of all we need to compile the thing because we have done the changes. After compilation I specify this thing, it is working. I specify this thing, it is working. When I specify 2 2, it is saying both numbers are same. So now it is working perfectly here. Now, guys, next thing is if I want to work for 3 numbers instead of 2 numbers. So let's say for 3 numbers, I will copy this thing, paste it here, and this would be argument 2, and here I will say that this would be the third number. Right. Now, for treating this first number, second number, third number, I will say first number is greater than the second number, and there is an operator called AND operator. AND says if the first condition is true, so it will check the second condition. So it will check the second condition, and I'm saying the first number is greater than the third number. So it means if this condition is true and this condition is true, so both of the conditions true, so it will print first number is greater. Then I specify else if first number, instead of this, I will specify second number is greater than first number, and I will specify second number is greater than third number. So it will say second number is greater. So it means the AND is for checking both of the conditions are true, then it will execute this part. There is another alternative double pipe sign that is called OR. So it means if this condition is true or false, still it will go to check the second condition. If either one of the conditions is true, it will pass this condition. But this moment we want both conditions will be matched. That's why I put double AND sign. Now after this, I will copy this stuff and I will paste this thing, and here I will say if third number. So I will say if third number is greater than. So with us, I will say if third number, third number is greater than first number, and I will say this thing, third number is greater than second number. So it means both of the conditions match. So it means the third number is greater. Right. Now I just manage these three conditions. You can also add comparison of first number with the second number and the second number with the third number to check if both are the same or not. So same condition you can also handle. So I have three if else for checking first number, second number, and third number, and then I save this thing. Then I say Java C and decision making. Oops, I need to use .java. So Java C decision making demo.java. We compile the code, and then I will say Java decision making demo. I will say 100 10 2. So this time first number is greater, then 1000 2. Second number is greater, then say 2000. So the third number is greater. So this is how you can add bunch of conditions. Right? I hope guys this thing is clear. How to do a multiple if else and how to add this and or kind of condition. This is called logical operators. Now I'm going to use a way, because somebody asked a question, that is how to take an input in this form, that is it will ask enter the first number, enter the second number. So in this way how you can take the input. So that's a second way to take an input, guys. So if you want to take an input in a second way, we have a ready-made class scanner for this. So like in your C you have scanner, we have this thing scanner. So system.in, like we have system.out for output, system.in for input. So it will take input and it will store in a buffer. So scanner is like a buffer for us, and it will store everything in scanner buffer. So this is the syntax, and new is a keyword, and through when you're writing this thing, this is creating an object of scanner class. So we will go in more detail how to create an object. Right now this is just a syntax for you. When we learn the object-oriented thing, then we understand how to create an object of it. So when I define scanner equal to new scanner, this is a predefined class in the Java. First of all, Java 8 has more than 7,800 classes. So because it has a lot of classes, so Java divide their code into the packages. So divide everything in a packages. Packages is nothing, it's a folder. So we can also see this thing. So if we go to the Java folder, and if I go in this source.zip, so that's a source code of Java. So you can see how it manages the code. Inside it creates Java folder, and inside it creates language folder. So if you type string, so string is coming from language folder. If you type system, So system will come from a language folder. So it means everything is coming from a language folder. So most of the classes, right? So Java says if you want to use a language folder, either optionally you can type this thing, that is import java.language.star. So Java says this is the thing you need to write, java.language.star. So it means it will import the integer class, system class, string class from java.language. So it is more like your in C language you write hash include std.h. So when you write hash include std.h, it means the std.h is available for your program. This is optional to write because it is already imported. So this is optional to write because it is already there. But it has some of the classes. It does not have all the classes. So Java has another folder. If you go back, so you will see Java has math folder for mathematics classes, net folder for networking, SQL for database connectivity. So it has several. And it has one more thing, util. And inside util you have the scanner, right? So you need to import the scanner because this util folder is by default not imported. It is not optional. So you need to write import java.util.scanner. So it means you are importing the scanner class. So the scanner class will be get imported and it is available. So through this scanner class you can take input from a user. So now you can write system.out.println, enter the first number. So this message will be appear, and instead of specifying this thing integer dot parseInt, so I'm commenting out this thing, and instead of this, so comment will be ignored by the compiler. Compiler would not read it, comments. And instead of this, I will write scanner dot next int. So scanner already have this method next int, so it will take the integer value and hand it over to the first number. So the same thing, you need to just copy it here, paste it, and here you will say enter the second number, and this time this would be second number, and this would be enter the third number, and here you can say third. So I will comment it out this thing first, second, third, and this will be work. So this is the syntax to take input from a user. This is the second approach. The first approach we already done, that's a arguments approach. So if I save this thing and go back here, and here I am specifying the first, I compile this code, and this time I will only specify the class name and then I press enter. So it will ask for a first number, so I will specify the first number, then I specify the second number, then I specify the third number. And it's saying the first number is greater. Right. So the thing is, to take input from a user, you have a predefined class scanner, and scanner is by default not in the language package because java.language is by default there. And for importing this thing, you need to use java.util.scanner. And to take input, next int is there. So next int will take the first value, then the next int second will take the second value. So Soumyadeep has a question, next int will automatically take one after the other. Yes, Soumyadeep. When you specify next int, so it will take the first integer, then you specify next int, so it will take another next integer. So I hope guys this thing is clear. So if you understand this thing, so you can, I am also sharing this assignment, this thing. So you will try these programs. The first program is write a program to check greater number in 4 numbers. So like we have checked for 3 numbers, you will try to check on 4 numbers. And also try this program, print the result on the basis of percentage. It means if the value is greater than 90, then print A grade. If it is 90 to 80, then B grade. So it is more like your multiple if else program. So you will solve this by multiple if else, and it is similar to your 3 number greater kind of program. Right. So there is one more question, that is, do we need to import library other than language? Yes. Absolutely, because if you are going to connect with a database, so you need to import library other than language, like we use scanner, so that's why you import it, because scanner has limited classes. So if you want to use more classes, so you need to import it. By default, the language folder is imported by default. Is that answer your question? Yeah, for what about math? So it means math is a class which is inside a language by default. But if you want to use more mathematical calculations, then there is a folder called math. And inside math, you have math related things. So if you open this thing, so you have math related things like big decimal, big integer. So if you want to use this big sort of thing, so it means you want to do a big calculation, then you need to do this thing. So there is a question like why we import the scanner. So I am just repeating. So when you use java.util.scanner, so the first thing is scanner is a predefined class and it is not a part of your language folder. So Java divide the classes in different folders. So think like you have 10,000 songs. So you not put 10,000 songs in a one folder. You will divide the songs in a different category. For example, you divide in a Hollywood, Bollywood, Tollywood. So you will divide in a different folders. Then you will define it in a latest songs, older songs, rock songs, right? This kind of folders you will create. So you are easily able to retrieve the songs. Same here, Java says we have 7,800 classes, so it will not put everything in this language folder. So language has some basic classes, so that's why the language is by default imported. So it has a string class, it has a system class which is required for basic programming. But if you want to go to the advanced programming, like you want to use scanner class, so you need to import this java.util. So for example, you want to use networking, so you need to import java.net. If you want to connect with a SQL, so you need to use java.sql. So that's why you need to import this thing. And scanner is a predefined class. We are creating an object of the scanner class, and system.in is used to take an input. So when you use scanner.nextInt, so you will taking an integer. So the first integer value will be stored here. So there is a question, language is a default package? Yes, language is a default package. It means it's a default package, it is by default imported. Other packages you need to import, right? So for scanner.nextInt is to take the first value, and if you want to take the second value, then you have next int. So for example, you want to take long value, then you need to use scanner.next long. So if you want to use scanner.next float, so it will take float value. For next long, next double, so these kind of things to take different type of value. So there is one more question from Harikrishan, that is, instead of integer you want to take a character. So for taking a character, you need to use scanner dot next. So this only next, when you specify, it will take a string. String is a bunch of characters. So it has a string. So you want to retrieve only a first character. So you will write *0. So for example, scanner.next will take Amit, right? Because next will take string. Amit is a string. And when you specify *0, so it will pick only A, and it will hand it over to this. So this is the way to take a character. So is I answer your question, Harikesh? So guys, this is the basic things that we have done today, and all the code snippets and the questions I am going to upload on GitHub. So you can download it from there, and there is no need to create any account of GitHub. You can directly access it. So the code snippets would be here. So there is a question. So I will ping the URL to all of you, because I will going to upload everything in a one common location. So you can all download the codes from there. So all daily basis I will upload in this GitHub. So GitHub is actually a code repository. All of my training contents all the things I uploaded here. Right. So these are the list of the repository I have. So I am going to create a one more for you. It is Selenium Java batch 2 December. So I create this thing for you. So there is a question: will you upload the recording of the session? Recording I cannot upload because these recordings will be available for Gamma team. So you need to contact to the Gamma team for recording. So I do not have any access of recording. So here I will upload the snippets what we have learned till now. So these are our programs. So I will pick only .java files. So these are the codes, and I will create a folder day 1, and you can download it from here. It's a day 1 folder. Here it is, and I also share the questions to all of you. These are the questions, and I will save in this desktop images folder. And here I will save questions, and I will share the images also to you. Because I already saved these images. So this is the second. These are the data types, and this site was run anywhere. So I will upload these images. These are the images. I think the questions I missed. Questions needed, where I saved it. So save as, I will do again Selenium images. So let's save in Selenium images. So this one is question.txt, and I will paste this also. So all of the things will get uploaded, guys. And how you can pick this thing? So first I just commit these changes to the server. So day 1, job 6. I will commit to the master. I will publish this thing. So it will be published the thing, and you need to just type on GitHub. This is the URL, Amit for all Java, and you just need to go to this repository section. And this is Selenium Java batch 2 December. So it is going on right now. So it will take some time. Here it is. Here it is downloaded, everything. I mean uploaded, and I just location to everyone. So I paste on a chat window, guys. You just need to go to this URL, and you need to just download it from here. So if you go in bottom, you have this download zip option. So this one, download zip, and you can download it from here. So this download zip. So you can download everything from this location. So I hope, guys, you understand everything in this session, and this session will help you. So guys, it's time to leave. We will meet tomorrow, and we will learn more things. So guys, thanks for attending the session.